Vishrinvata.
Vishrinvataha Priyashavasyanga Mama Bhavadruti Druchi.
Word for word.
Tatra, thereupon, Anu, every day, Aham Krishna Kathaha, narration of Krishna, Lord Krishna's activities. Pragayatam, describing
Pragayatam is a very beautiful word. You know? Pragayatam. Pra means in Sanskrit, the pra prefix is always used for complete, basically, complete or perfect, like a proper thing. So that word proper comes from this pra prefix. So properly, whenever we are doing something for Krishna only, it is complete. Otherwise, it is not complete. You know. So this Gayata means singing. When will you sing? Not normally.
When you are happy.
When you are happy, and then
we are free from any worries or anxieties. Free from anxieties.
Okay. Then
when your soul is seeking something.
Sorry, Mataji.
When your soul is seeking something higher. Like
that is also true. Soul is speaking higher, but normally when you sing, normally it is usually in a mood of expressing it to the best of our ability, right? I mean, in the most sweetest way, or most where it will reach out to people easily, like and it also reaches people very easily. If you see, if I give a paragraph for you to memorize, not everybody will memorize it. That's the pros I mean to say. Not everybody will memorize it. It takes some time for them. Even if you memorize, it will be lost like that. But if you are asked to memorize a bhajan or a kirtana, like the kritis are there, it's much easier to memorize, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu.
And easy to just 4 lines, 8 lines, whatever. Then like slokas, for example, why they are all written in the form of slokas, the verses, different chandas. Why it is written in the form of slokas? So 4 line only, and it is proper meter, so easy to remember. So you don't forget it. Even slokas which we learned in our school days or childhood days, still we are able to remember. How it is possible? Because the singing thing is a way of, it's a joyful experience. It's not something like we don't have to talk. It's not like a experience that you have to tolerate. It's an experience that we will enjoy, isn't it? So Pragayatam actually includes, one is to make it easy for the audience to hear, easy to remember and hear. The other thing is, it's the best form of expressing our attachment or affection about somebody, right? If somebody wants to write something about their beloved ones and all, when they write it in the form of a poetry or something, it is even more attractive, isn't it? Letter is also good, but even beyond that, is like when you write in the form of a poetry or some kind of a song, it becomes even more attractive. Even in mundane terms, I'm talking about. So Pragayatam actually means that's a Shrimanti Gayanti, So when you sing, you are expressing your utmost attachment, attraction for that person about whom you are singing, the object of glorification, right? So the glorification is when it is done, when you sing, you sing it out of joy, that is the reason this word Pragayatam is used. You describe it in joy. That's why in all those days in the past, you see Harikatha, they will sing, right? They will not simply, they will speak, but then in between they will keep on singing. Have you seen that? Katha Kalakshepam, they call it.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So they will have that. Narada Muni also carries his veena, right? Or somebody carries the kartal or in Mridanga we play something in harmonium instrument. You hear Prabhupada's bhajans, it's like really moving. Because Prabhupada is so much into it that he sings with so much love. He can keep on hearing, and it's so pure, really, full of purity. Okay, so now let's go to the next word, Prabhu.
Anugrahena, by causeless mercy. Ashravanam, Ashra,
Ashrunavam.
Ashranvam, giving oral reception.
Yeah.
Manaharaha, attractive. Taha, those.
Mm.
Shraddhaya, respectfully. Me,
Mm.
unto me. Anupadam.
See, now here, this is such a beautifully Prabhupada is translated. Shraddha is faith, right?
Yeah.
Here is the calling it respectfully.
Yeah.
Nice, no? How he is
Yeah.
connecting these two qualities. You don't respect somebody whom you don't have faith on.
Shraddha means faith also, no? That's
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Both meanings are go hand in hand. You don't respect somebody whom you don't have faith. Implicit faith you don't have, you don't respect them.
Yeah.
You have faith. You are attracted to them. You have faith in them. Then you naturally respect them. So the Prabhupada is using this word respectfully here, and I think a couple of verses before he was telling eagerness and faithful. So these are all qualities which combine together. It's not separate qualities. They are all part and parcel of this one word Shraddha. When you have Shraddha, you'll be eager to hear from them. You will respect them. You will faithfully hear them. Like that. Okay. So let's go further.
Me unto me, me is unto me, anupadam, every step, Vishnavataha.
Vishrunvataha.
Vishnavataha, hearing attentively. Priyash Shravasi, of the personality of Godhead.
See, this is a very interesting word. Krishna is called Priyashrava. Priyashravasa. In quite a few places, this word Priyashravasi is. Next verse also this Priyashravasi is used. See, Priyashravasi. Shravanam means hearing. Priya means very dear to us, right? Or about whom hearing is very dear to us. You can call it that way also. Priyashravasi means when you hear about him, about Krishna, we feel very more and more closer in love for him. Even his defeats, for example, defeat in the sense so-called defeat. I mean, he runs away from the battlefield. That also makes us attracted to him. So you suppose you are hearing about some mundane people. They fail, then it will not be very pleasing to hear, isn't it? But in Krishna's case, his failure with Sudama to reciprocate with Sudama, his failure to reciprocate to Draupadi and other gopis and others, to the extent they loved him, all these things actually make us feel him to be more and more dear to us. That is the beauty of Krishna. In no other places we can see that. If somebody whom you are dear, very, very much attracted to in the mundane world, if they keep on failing, you will lose attraction to them. My God, if this team is always failing, that this party is always losing. Like that, we tend to have our, we recalibrate our alignment towards thing, right? So, you have a say some sports person or a celebrity, some actor or somebody. They continuously fail. Then you will say, "Oh my God, whatever I am attached, whoever I am attached to, attracted, they are not doing well. I will attract to someone who is doing well." Like that will go, right? So here in Krishna's case, even if it appears like he's failing, right? In Bhishma, in Yudhishthira Maharaj's case, in Bhishma Dev's case, everywhere he fails. He fails in the sense he gives the victory to others, and in that he actually enjoys. He relishes being defeated by his devotees, and that is why when he leaves the battlefield and runs away from Kalayavana, normally when somebody leaves the battlefield and runs away, he is tiraskar. I mean, he will be criticized. He will be neglected. But Krishna has a whole temple named Ranchod Rai in Gujarat, place where he ran away from the battlefield. Why? Because the intention behind that activity is what makes us more dear to him. He was not running out of fear. He was not running out of, hey, I want to save myself. No. He was running out, he was running away from that person, Kalayavana, in order to give glory to his devotee. He was raising that wheel, chariot wheel, and ran to kill Bhishma Dev. He could have just sent the Sudarshan Chakra if he wanted. Why he has to raise the wheel? Because he wanted to acknowledge and appreciate the glories of Bhishma Dev's devotion. That is why he was remembered in that form by Bhishma Dev in his deathbed. So every single activity, whether it looks like a positive or negative of Krishna, is actually glorified. That is why it makes us become more and more dear to him, or makes him more and more dear to us. That is why it's called Priya Shravasi. That's the main reason Shravanam is so much insisted, hearing about Krishna, especially when you hear about Krishna attentively, unflinchingly, respectfully, with faith, and that giving oral reception. You see that word, if you remember that oral reception word, we meditated on it long ago when we did that seminar also, right? That word is so beautiful word. So much meaning inside that English word, oral reception, right? You enjoy that whole hearing. So that is how this Priya Shravasi is very, very dear to hear about Krishna. So that is why Krishna is called Priya Shravasi. Such a nice word that is using here. Huh? Yeah, please continue, Prabhu. Finish this word.
Yeah, that I remember that. That's why Sanjay says that Rishyami cha muhur muhu.
Ah, Muhu Muhu. Yeah,
Once again,
Shyam.
again and again, I
Yeah.
want to hear that discussion
Yeah.
between Arjuna and Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Beautiful connection.
Priya
Let's read the
Shravasi.
Glories.
1 second. Oh, me another. Okay. Oh. Okay.
So there is one other word actually. There are two words. One is Priya Shravasa, Priya Shravas. Another one is Priya Vrata.
Acha.
Priya
Yes.
Vrata, Priya Vrata is usually applicable. Is usually referred to devotees. One who takes his vows to be very dear to him. So we as devotees, we should always take our vows very dear. We can't say that, oh, Prabhu, today I cannot chant 16 rounds. Tomorrow I will add and chant. But today I cannot read. Tomorrow I will read 2 chapters. Not that is not Priya Vrata. Priya Vrata is one who keeps his Vrata very dear to his, very close to his heart. In other words, he gives the utmost priority to it. Priority. See, this priority word also has Priya word in it. Priority, Then whatever is Priya on top, priority. You prioritize means you make it very Priya to you. Then it becomes priority. So Priya Vrata is devotees, Priya Shravas is Krishna. So when we are very keep our vows very dear to us, then we are attracted to Priya Shravas. Krishna. So we have to be very particular about this connection and make sure that it works on this. Let's continue.
Anga. Oh, Vasudeva. Correct? No, Anga. Okay.
The word
Maha.
Anga, actually, the word Anga means addressing somebody as very dearly.
Okay.
We say, I don't know, in Gujarati, they call chokra, dikra, and then in this thing, in Malayalam, they call Muni, they call no, like Ponnuni, they call Pon means gold and Muni means very small. So Ponnuni means what do you call that? Small, children and all, they are called in such a nice way, like gold and I don't know, in Telugu they call it Bangaru, Prabhu.
Bangaru, yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. So yes, so like that, when you are, it's that like that Anga means very dear. someone who is very dear. When you like this word Anga will be used everywhere throughout Bhagavatam. It's not like someone by the name Anga. Vidura is addressed as Anga by Maitreya. Narada Muni will be addressed as Anga by Vaishmadev, sorry, Brahma. And Uddhava will be addressed as Anga by Krishna. Like that, everywhere this word Anga will be used. So Anga does not mean limb here. Normally Anga also means limb, but here Anga means my dear, my beloved, like that. In
Mama
other words,
is,
Anga means you are part of me. Like, you are not different from me. I mean, you are very close to me, kind of. Yes, Prabhuji.
great meaning, nicely explained. Mama is mine. Abhavat is it so become Abhavat.
Abhavat.
Ruchi is taste.
Bhavati means happening.
Bhava. Translation. O Vasudeva, in that association and by the mercy of those great Vedantis, I could hear them describe the attractive activities of Lord Krishna. And thus, listening attentively, my taste for hearing of the personality of Godhead increased at every step.
Yeah, beautiful translation. Right? First, he took the prasadam, his sins were eradicated, his heart was purified, and the nature of the transcendental became attractive to him. Then when you are attracted to somebody, you want more and more of their association. So he is continuing to associate with them. And when he is continuing to associate with them, the mercy continues to flow. In other words, they are engaging him in the service. They give him a peek into their activities, their talks and all that. Even though he doesn't understand, he's something great they are talking about. I want to sit and listen. And thus he is listening attentively and he hearing about Krishna. They are talking about Krishna among themselves. They may not, at this point, they are not directly talking to Narada so much. Sorry, as a son of maidservant. Because they are only talking among themselves most of the time, maybe. And so he is hearing from, while doing the service, he's hearing from them. Right? Then that's how he is attracted more and more. And his attentiveness to listen increases more. And then when he is hearing attentively, the taste for hearing also increases. So the secret is that increase the taste for hearing is directly proportional to the our attentive listening. If you are not listening attentively, then the taste will not grow. When we listen attentively, only the taste for hearing increases more and more. That is the connection, important connection here. So this whole thing goes in a sequence. When we go step by step, I think while hearing only, I can say, I can see Chanchalpati Prabhu thinking in his mind, put a PPT with all the steps. Isn't it, Chanchalpati Prabhu? It's quite some time since we got the PPTs from you. So you
Hare
got
Krishna Prabhuji. Presently I'm in office. I will not be able to respond properly.
Don't worry, you can type also if you want to type. But this is assignment which you will do for sure. Oh, no problem. No problem, Prabhu. Carry on with your cash counting. Hare Krishna. Yes, Suresh Prabhu. I think he is the only one. Sorry. He is the only one, I think, who is counting the cash also and hearing. Krishna. I don't know how many of the people who are coming there will get benefited. He gives some extra notes to them. If he gives less notes, definitely they will come and report. You are given less to me. But if he is more, nobody is going to tell him. Krishna.
But listening and doing his job, Prabhu, so Krishna
Sorry?
will make sure that this.
Sorry,
He
what
is
is that?
listening to Krishna Katha. He is listening to Krishna Katha and he is doing his job. So Krishna, I think Krishna will help him do his job perfectly.
Yes,
No,
Mataji,
not giving.
yes, Mataji. I was just telling in a lighter vein. Just making it. Actually, we are not supposed to do that. Normally, when As long as you are multitasking person, you can do maybe because you can keep hearing some songs or something and do your work. Because especially these kind of work that we are doing, no, like say suppose cleaning the vessels or cleaning the rooms, sweeping the floor, or this kind of like counting the cash or counting the change and all that. When we put this thing on the sideways, our mind will be focused. We'll just keep going in one direction. If nothing is there, then sometimes mind will go somewhere else and we lose the thing. So it is a good thing. You can keep hearing and doing service anyway. So okay. Sorry, Suresh Prabhu, sorry, I interrupted
Yeah.
when you were saying.
I just want to add to it that
Yes.
he was a just 5-year-old boy, but he was attracted to that kind of transcendental discussion of that Vedanti is something very natural. The quality of the soul that getting attracted, even they don't understand at such age actually.
No, yes, Prabhu, that's the whole idea of devotional service, isn't it? It doesn't matter whether a person is a young boy or I think some weeks ago we discussed this Vyadasya Charanam Dhruvasya Vayako Vidya Gajendrasya Ka. Remember some 8-10 personalities who were listed in that shloka? I shared that in the group also. Vyadasya Charanam. Where is the Acharan for the Vyada, the Dharma Vyada? Where is the age for Dhruva? Where is the knowledge for Gajendra? Where is the Shauryam for Ugrasena? Where is the birth for Vidura? Where is this thing for what's her name? Kubja, Saundaryam, Kubjasyaka. There's none of these qualities are required, frankly speaking. In fact, it is much better to be in the childhood, in the child age, young age, because Kalmash has not entered into our hearts yet in this child age. That's why Prahlad Maharaj himself repeats this many times. Kaumaharam Acharet Prajnaha Dharman Bhagavatam. Right from the childhood of 5 years old, they should start getting the Bhagavad Dharma inculcated in their life, at least in the form of teaching and practicing and so on. Right? Why? Because it's that stage we will not be, our hearts will not be contaminated so much. So Krishna can go inside and stay forever. He will be staunchly fixed in his position. Will be strongly fixed in his position. So that is very important thing. And even if you are grown up, if you have a childlike innocence, that's what my Guru Maharaj would always say, that innocence is is the most important absolute must for a devotee. We can have very good what do you call this panditya, right? Intelligence. We can have a lot of knowledge and grasping power and analyzing capacity. Everything we can have. Those are only catalysts actually, but a must, the quality that is absolute must for bhakti is innocence. Maharaj would say, he would say that innocent people are very close to Krishna. It may look like you are being cheated by the others, but Krishna will make sure that you are not cheated. Those who are cheating, they will get cheated. So this is the important point which we should also know, that because of his innocence, that kapat gant man mein nahi sabse saral swabhav. The child does not have any knots or crookedness or kapat or other things. It's not there. Kapat gant man mein nahi. There's no unnecessary thing about he did like this, she did like this, and those things are not there for months, years together. It is sitting in our heads, in our hearts. Sabse saral swabhav, because that gant is not there, the knots are not there. Everybody he talks very casually. The child doesn't have. One day father beats him, next day still he goes and talks to him. There is no thing like, no, I will not talk to you forever. That they will do in teenage and other things, but not when they are 4-5 years old, you see. So sabse saral swabhav, they are very saral with everybody. This is the biggest thing that happens to us. When we get a little bit into this complicated forest of illusion, then we lose the fine fabric of bhakti. That bhakti bhav, that fine fabric is missed out. And we are too much caught up in, hey, he is not correct, this group is not good, they are not bona fide, this person is not there. All those things we will go into. You know, you see from Prabhupada saying how much ever he was expert in management, he always had that innocence in his heart. Childlike innocence, they call it. Somebody will say, Prabhupada, we have to go there. Oh, is it? Okay, let's go. Like yesterday, we saw how he was telling, go faster, go faster. I don't know how he had got the instinct that the train is half an hour, leaving half an hour early. Right? Nobody told him, nobody knew in that car except for Prabhupada. So this is the most important thing, the innocence. That somehow or other we should have that innocence carry on in our hearts. Okay, let's go further.
Just one point, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
That Prabhupada movement started while he started doing the kirtan that crossroads in America. Actually, all the Americans were not having any idea of what he is singing and all that. They didn't know the meaning and everything, but they were attracted to it. Very similar to this incident. That's why I wanted to share. Thank you.
Best examples, Prabhupada. Because those days, the late 60s or post mid 60s, Prabhupada was very like a father for them. Later in the 75, 76, and when he started giving lots of initiations, there he had to play the role of a judge kind of a role, no? That like master kind of a role, because he didn't want the process, the intensity to get diluted. So, but then the early days when they used to come, I remember there is this beautiful incident that they told about Jayananda Prabhu. You remember the father of the modern Rath Yatra in the West. Of course, because of his thing, all over the world, the Narada Yatras are going because of his example that he said. Those days, just a handful, maybe 10, 20 devotees were there. Those days means I'm telling the beginning days of 65, 66, 67, that time. Before Prabhupada did the mass thing, after it started exponentially, like it started exploding, no? So before that, those were there, they always had carried that innocence in their heart. So once what happened, Prabhupada was traveling from, I think, New York to San Francisco, I think, where Jayananda Prabhu was supposed to receive Prabhupada and take them in his cab. So Prabhupada comes, they were like away from Prabhupada for a month, so they were quite missing him so much. Even though they were not much scholarly and all that, not so many books had not come out. But Bhagavad Gita came only in the 70, 71. So before that, they had no major books, only small books maybe, and this thing. So Prabhupada comes in the escalator and he's coming, and then Jayananda Prabhu is waiting. And as soon as Prabhupada came, he hugged him, caught hold of him, and made 3 rounds, like how we do with our very dear friends, no? So like that, he rotated with Prabhupada, and then he put him down. And Prabhupada said that, he was happy that he was showing his love like that. But after that, when he was going in the car, he said, it's nice you did this, but with spiritual masters, you are not supposed to do that. You have to, maintain a little bit of that thing, the decorum. So, but then he loved that very much, that love that they had, And they would sit, like after the class, they would sit casually with Prabhupada and they would joke. Prabhupada will crack some jokes on each other, and one will tell about the other, and etc. That's like a family they were living. All the Prabhu's Matajis, and there was no unnecessary discrimination or anything. This is all very beautiful, this thing, examples of innocence, that how innocence plays its role in making us love stronger. Thank you for that nice example, Prabhu. Took me to that. Take that angle. Okay, so who wants to read the purport?
Shall I read, Prabhu?
Please, Mataji.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada.
Okay,
Ki Jai. Lord Sri Krishna, the absolute personality of Godhead, is attractive not only to his person, not only in his personal features, but also in his transcendental activities.
So this is an interesting line. Huh? Normally, we describe Krishna's beauty and all that, no? Like Barha Gidam, Nata Varava Pugava, Kasturi Tilakam, Lat. Each of these Anga we explained, which is very beautiful, of course. But that alone is not enough. That's not the only thing beautiful about Krishna. His activities, the words he speaks, the actions he does, or his pastimes, everything is filled with joy, filled with nectar. That's why when they were talking about his transcendental activities, it really attracted Narada Muni very much towards Krishna. So that's why Bhagavatam is so beautiful, because it not only talks about the beautiful forms and feature of Krishna, it talks about his transcendental activities and nature also. Because activities develop into nature. Okay. The activities which we do every day, that becomes a nature. You suppose every day I practice not telling lies. What will happen? Eventually, I will be the quality I will possess. I will imbibe is that I will always tell only truth. It comes naturally. It's not like I have to explicitly impose upon myself. You understand the connection? Let's go further. Each line we have to read like this. So that's when we will enjoy it very much. Yes, please read further.
It's so because the absolute is absolute by his name, fame, form, pastimes, entourage, paraphernalia, etc.
Absolute means nothing else can be compared. This is the best. There is nothing that can come anywhere close to this. And it absolute also means sorry, Mother Johnson. Absolute also means it does not depend on anything else to support its absoluteness. You got it? Ours are not relative, because ours is dependent on time, dependent on our karma, dependent on our age. So many things are there, right? One may be a very fast runner in his young age, but when he becomes old, he cannot run the same fast. So that quality is not absolute. It is relative. It is dependent. Relative means dependent. Absolute means no dependence at all. No dependence at all on anything. It can stand on its own. It is completely perfect and complete. That's his absolute. And another quality of absolute is when it touches something else, that something relative, not absolute, that not absolute also becomes absolute in its own way.
How is that, Prabhu? Can you please explain?
Like we are relative now. Now we are relative. Relative means we are dependent on Krishna, this material nature, and all this, so many other factors. No, but when we are touched by Krishna, we become transcendental. We become spiritualized. And when we become spiritualized, we don't depend on anything else relative. Our dependence is only with Krishna. You got it? We'll be completely joyful. Our happiness, our bliss will not depend on anything else except Krishna. Right? Only Krishna is there.
In material body also.
Yes, material body also will not have its impact on us. Yeah, what is that? Harir Dasye. Iha yasya Harir Dasye. Karmana Manasa Gira. Nikilashu Api Avastasu Jivan Muktasa Uchyate. One who is become unflinching servant of the Lord, Hari, Karmana Manasa Gira, by their activities, by their mind, and then by their words, speech. Nikolasu Api Avastasu. In this body itself, they become Jivan Mukta. That is why you see many saints, they take Jiva Samadhi sometimes, right? Even they leave the body and they just go just like that. There are many such examples are there, but that's not the only thing. While they are doing the activities itself, their body is spiritualized, which means they are not dependent on mundane things like, oh, I have to sleep 8 hours to function properly. Prabhupada, in that 11 years, he hardly slept for 1 or 2 hours every day. In spite of the fact that he was traveling so much, 14 times traveling around the world in 10 years, is it a humanly possible thing that to at the age of 70 to 80? No rest at all. Just go there, start the class. And if you read in this book, I will build your temple, you will see that Prabhupada is somewhere in Hawaii or somewhere in US. And here in Bombay, Giriraj Maharaj is reaching out to some business people and rich people. And one of the things, they were having this Bhagavad Gita consortium or something. They are going to have a union of all different Bhagavad Gita people and just all different saints to have a what do you call that as interfaith dialogue or whatever. It's not interfaith, but all of Bhagavad Gita, this thing, different people have their own things, right? So one big person wants to arrange something like that. So Giriraj Maharaj tells Prabhupada that Prabhupada, this is a nice engagement, but then just now you went there. I don't know if it's possible for you to come. Prabhupada says, no, you ask them to fix a date and I will come. So for this, he comes all the way from US to Bombay, India. That much of intimacy has, give Krishna to everybody. So the body does not have its impact on the spirit and enthusiasm of those pure devotees. That is what it means. So they become absolute. In other words, they are completely independent of the body, the material nature, and because they are completely surrendered and completely attached, one in their consciousness with Krishna. Does that help, Mataji?
Yeah. Now I understood, Prabhu. I just thought, how can we people? So we have to transcend these material modes, go higher and higher at that level. That is what you said about Jivan Muktas. They are at that level. That is why. Yes,
Jivan
Prabhu,
Muktas means in this body, when they are moving around itself, they will be untouched by this material body. Not only when they leave the body. Like Prabhupada, I was giving the example, right? In this body itself, they will not be touched by the material modes or the happenings of this material. They'll be like the water in the leaf of the lotus petal. Kamala, Dada, Jana, no?
Yeah. Shall I continue, Prabhu?
Please, Mataji. Yeah.
Lord descends on this material world out of his causeless mercy and displays his various transcendental pastimes as a human being, so that human beings attracted towards him become able to go back to Godhead. Men are naturally apt to hear histories and narrations of various personalities performing mundane activities without knowing that by such association one simply wastes valuable time and also becomes addicted to the three qualities of mundane nature. Instead of wasting time, one can get spiritual success by turning his attention to the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. By hearing the narration of the pastimes of the Lord, one contacts directly the personality of Godhead, and as explained before, by hearing about the personality of Godhead from within, all accumulated sins of the mundane creature are cleared.
See, this line is very important. By hearing the narration of the pastimes of the Lord, one contacts directly the personality of God. This is a beautiful line. Prabhupada is stressing on this Shravanam so much here. Direct contact of the Lord is there when you hear of his activities. Someone else is narrating the pastimes of Krishna and you hear, you have not seen him yet. Right? But then you are able to directly contact him. This doesn't happen on the mundane platform. Suppose I hear about somebody, I don't have direct connection with that person. What is a direct contact? Okay, now let's understand what is contact means.
Either be able to see them or talk to them or something like that.
No, you are right, partially right. It's not only that we are able to talk to them, they will be also able to talk to us. In other words, we can hear them also speak.
Yeah.
Correct? That is what is actual contact or communication means.
Both ways.
If I simply say, I know, say Mahatma Gandhi does not know me.
Yes.
So how much ever I may talk about him, he will not know what I'm talking about him. Correct?
Yes, sir.
I may be like some celebrities fan or something. I may write reams and reams of this thing about them. but they won't care to know about me. They will not call me or they will not connect with me. Correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Whereas when we hear about Krishna, Krishna enters our hearts and he speaks to us. That doesn't happen to the mundane personalities. Yeah. How much ever great they may be. They don't enter into our hearts, talk to us and associate with us or give their association to us. That doesn't happen. So this is why this thing is so beautiful, this line. By hearing the narration of the pastimes of the Lord. Now we are hearing about Krishna from 10th canto, 9th canto, 8th canto, whichever canto it may be. Actually, Krishna is talking to us. Krishna is associating with us. Because he is the one who is removing all the anarthas from our heart. He takes the broom and sweeps, like we take the broom and sweep the floor. He takes the broom and sweeps the courtyard of our heart. There is a beautiful verse. I think it is 12:48. Somebody can take that. Sankirtyamano Bhagavananantah Sutanubhavo Yasanam hi Pusam Pravishya Chittam Vidunotya Shesham Yatha Tamurko Brahmivati Vatah. Beautiful verses. This is the thing, Sankirtyamano. This is a verse that reveals the underlying meaning inside this line, that which we read just now. Sankirtyamano Bhagavan Anantaha. By doing Sankirtan, glorification of the Lord, properly glorifying the Lord, is unlimited. Ananta, Bhagavan is Ananta. And Shruta Anubhava. By hearing about him continuously, we are experiencing his potency and his greatness, etc. And what happens? Vyasanam hi punsam. Vyasanam hi punsam. Vyasanam means all the inabilities, anxieties, sufferings, miseries, etc. As soon as we do Sankirtan and we hear about Krishna, all the vyasanas are driven away. How are they driven away? Pravishya Chittam. Krishna enters our Chittam, heart.
Yeah, the
He enters our
translation.
consciousness. And Vidunoti Ashesham. Vidunoti means he clings. Unlimited dirts, unlimited sinful thoughts, and unlimited dirty thoughts, everything is there. He takes the broom and vacuum cleaner, everything, and he is sweeping. And Yatha Tamurko, how he does it? Just like when the sun comes, darkness immediately dissipates. No more darkness. Similarly, when the clouds are there, heavy clouds are there. But when a strong wind blows, then the clouds are all dissipated. Sun light comes with it. So these two examples, just like these two examples, how the sun is dissipating the darkness and the strong wind is dissipating the cloud cover. Same way, Krishna also takes the broom and mop and everything to clean our hearts. The moment we do Sankirtan and Shravana. He personally enters into and cleanses away every trace of misfortune. So this is how he is contacting us. He's speaking to us. He's inspiring us. That is how devotees get the inspiration from Krishna to do certain activities in a certain way. Like small ways you can see. Like you are some other month you want to do some program. Suddenly somewhere they call you and say, "Can you come and do this art?" Like last 2-3 years you are doing in schools. So some of the schools here. And this year earlier we used to contact them and ask them that can we come and do it on so and so day. You can just send the children in a queue and they can come in line and they can show the lamp and go like that. We will tell them, they will allow us to do some kirtan and all. Now this year we didn't contact them. On their own they are calling us and they say, "Are you not coming for this Damodar this thing Aarti?" So, this is how Krishna catches. So the desire when we are having, then Krishna arranges for the thing to happen. So this line is so beautiful. By hearing the narration of the pastimes of the Lord, one contacts directly. Directly means there is no intermediate. Directly, just like you see the sun. With your own eyes, you see the sun. You don't need the lens and other things or something. You can directly see with your eyes. It's like that. One contacts directly the personality of Godhead. So the contact is two-way. We are talking, he is also talking. Okay, let's get back to this.
Thus, being cleared of all sins, the hearer gradually becomes liberated from mundane association and becomes attracted to the features of the Lord. So,
Yes. So again, the material associated. What happens? The more we hear, the more we want to hear. So suppose I hear for 1 hour. After this 1 hour, I will start looking at so many other mundane things.
yes.
But if I don't keep a limit and read attentively and very unflinchingly, more and more joy and enjoying that activity itself, then instead of 1 hour, I may read for 2 hours. I will not know the time passing, so I may end up reading some more. Right? So that extra 1 hour that I'm spending in reading or studying or discussing devotees, that extra 1 hour I am saving from mundane association. Because the moment we are out of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, we will be into some other browsing things and all that. Newspapers or channels or whatever it may be. So this is how we slowly we drive, we push the material mundane association, impact of the mundane association farther and farther away from us. That is the idea here. Beautiful point here. Okay, let's read further.
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya is so very important for us.
Yes. So nice. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya includes Vicharan also. I'm not just simply reading mechanically. I'm reading, then contemplating. I say, okay, this is so nice. Let me read one more. Okay, why Prabhupada is saying like this? Why Vyasadeva is saying like this? Why Vidura is saying like this? Those things will help us developing more taste for the service. That is how we get rid of the mundane things. If I say, oh, I have to read for 1 hour, let me just read. The 1 hour is like we have this class from 10:30 to 11:30. We're supposed to stop at 11:30. Okay, I will just read. I will keep on looking at the watch and say, okay, after this I will give talk classes. Then if I say like that, then very easily I will be attracted to the mundane thing as soon as I close the book. But if I forget the time, I think at this point, like we said, priority, right? Priority. So when we give this priority, then Krishna will give priority to us. In other words, he will give us more and more inspiration to expand our devotional service. Right?
Yes, Prabhu. Very much.
Yes, Mati. Yes, Prabhu.
Narada Muni has just explained this by his personal experience. The whole idea is that simply by hearing about the Lord's pastimes, one can become one of the associates of the Lord. Narada Muni has eternal life, unlimited knowledge, and unfathomed bliss. Unfathomed bliss. And he can travel all over the material and spiritual worlds without restriction.
See, Prabhupada is selling all these things, and then he is corroborating this line just before the statement. Now, what is that? The whole idea is that simply by hearing about the Lord's pastimes, one can become one of the associates of the Lord. What Prabhupada is saying here is, he only started with hearing from the Bhakti Vedantas, that's all. And then service was there, and then other things were there, pairing, and all those things were subsequently coming. The starting point is Shravanam. And he was able to reach a point where he can travel everywhere without restriction. So this hearing is such a powerful activity by itself. It's such a powerful process by itself. How nice it is, huh? Prabhupada is substantiating that statement by Narada Muni's example. Please continue.
One can attain to the highest perfection of life simply by attentive hearing of the transcendental pastimes of the Lord from the right sources, as Narada heard them from the pure devotees, Bhaktivedantas, in his previous life. This process of hearing in the association of the devotees is especially recommended in this age of quarrel, Kali.
See, this is such an amazing thing. 3 things we should understand from this. One is, just like Narad Muni, we should also have those basic qualities like innocence, don't unnecessarily talk too much, Alpa Bhashan, talk only when it's required. basic faith in them, a little bit of self-control. And those are all some of the qualities. The service attitude, little bit, whatever they are saying, without asking, "Hey, why are you giving me this service?" Instead of that, okay, I will do this. That's all. He will not even know the effect of that service. Just doing it because I just like doing it. That's all. So these are all the qualities that you see from Narada Muni. And the second thing that is more important is the source from where you are hearing must be very pure. Where we are hearing from, they should be very pure, pure devotees. Otherwise, sarpochishtapayoyata, like the milk touched by the fangs of the snake, poisonous snake. Milk may be milk only, but the snake, once it touches the milk, it becomes poisonous, right? So that's how it becomes. When we hear from so many different sources who are making, they describe Krishna's pastime so nicely, but the problem is they speak in a very colorful, this thing way and all, but in a playful way to make Krishna look as if like a I would say play is like a master in playing with people, or just like a very some naughty person like that, one among ourselves. That is a very big sin. That's when we will not appreciate the greatness of Krishna. So we have to hear from pure devotees who have utmost awe and reverence and respect to Krishna and narrations about Krishna. And the third thing, we talk two things now. One is our own basic quality should be there. Then the second thing is the source from where we are hearing must be pure. And the third thing is association of devotees, where we hear and discuss these things. It is very important. When we have in the association of devotees, the effect multiplies in leaps and bounds. This is the process of hearing. If it is hearing and chanting, if it is done with these three things, the effect is really the maximum. Okay.
Yes.
Any questions,
So
comments
fear,
for this?
association of devotees. So all their, I mean, uh, total consciousness.
Sorry, Mataji, what
If
is
we
it?
are in the, if we are in the, here it says we should be in the association of devotees. So when we are in the association of devotees, there is positivity because everybody's collective consciousness is there.
Yes.
So that will also
what happens
help
to
us
Mataji? Suppose 10 people are there. In that, 2 people are not very eager to hear. They just come there just for the sake of it. But the rest of the 8 people are very much focused on the subject and very having the taste for this translated subject matter. The other 2 will also come to that stage very soon.
Yes.
If I alone sit and do, if I don't have the eagerness or the taste, then what will take a long time. It's like the wet wood. It will not get dry. How will it catch fire? Piyush Prabhu, I saw you raise your hand.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, it's like that push and pull concept that lower modes, if a person is in the higher modes, it can bring a person of lower mode to the elevate a person of in lower modes to higher modes. That concept is applicable to this.
Yeah,
in this case.
Definitely. That's a very good point, Prabhu. Yeah, like see, the best examples you have is Narad Muni's, all his disciples.
Yes.
They were not that thing like Ratnakar, Mrugari. Dhruva is what? He was a young boy. Prahlad Maharaj was not even born. Right? So many such cases you have where Narad Muni is touching them and then he's turning them into gold. Initially, they may be iron or copper or whatever, but then when he touches by his purity, they turn into gold. So that is why we should always do one thing. we should, at least in the beginning stages, Maharaj used to say this in the class, that we have to every time हर बार हमको देखना है कि जिससे हम संग लेते हैं वो हमसे ऊपर स्तर में है कि नहीं. Like if you are taking association of somebody, we have to ensure that they are in a higher platform of consciousness than us. You understand? If you are giving association to somebody, then they may be lower, that's okay. But if you are taking association from them, the lower people, then we capture or grasp the lower mundane qualities from them, because we are taking their association. You understand? So that is the significant thing. When you are taking association, you should take association from someone who is in a higher consciousness than us. When you are giving association, you can give it to someone who is a lower point, because you are giving association. You are talking about Krishna, and they are asking some questions, you are answering. That is, you are giving association. Suppose you are asking some questions and they are answering. You are talking. Suppose you are asking about Narada Muni, and someone who doesn't even know the transcendental qualities of Narada Muni, if you are asking them, what they would do? They say, this Narada Muni is nothing. He's just, they're all just some imaginary story, like that they will say. And your faith is not strong, then you will take association with the person, and then you will also start believing that Narada Muni is a mundane person, just some imaginary character is not existing, and all those kind of things that will, that seed of doubts will get installed in our hearts. So we have to be very careful. Association of devotees should ensure it is beneficial. It does not mean that we should never take association of those who are lower conscious. We should never connect with one who is in lower conscious. That's the wrong idea, understanding. That's not what Prabhupada is talking about. You understood what I'm saying? The receiving knowledge should be from one who is at a higher platform. Giving knowledge can be to someone who is either equal or lower. Does that help?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
And once you become completely purified, Prabhu, then there is no higher lower at all. You're happy to take, because you are able to see Krishna in everybody. Until that point, you may have to follow. But once you start seeing Krishna in everybody and see everybody in Krishna, then that's no Uttama said there. There is no question of you should not learn from him, because you will be able to learn even from small, tiny things that a person says. Even he may say something mundane, it will translate into Krishna conscious talk for you. You understand? They may talk about something about very important thing about money. Then it will remind you of, oh, if only I'm attached to Krishna, like these people are attached to money, how much I would have developed consciousness. Like that you think. So to that extent, consciousness we should come to. It will come gradually. At the end of the day, Krishna is not going to leave us until we become Uttama Bhaktas. Any other questions, comments, questions? Such a beautiful verse.
Prabhu,
Yes, Prabhu.
Narada Muni got association of Bhaktivedantis for a very short period and very rare association. All cannot get such association. That's very. Today, by the mercy, our Bhaktivedanta Swami A.C. Prabhupada has opened this for the same knowledge for 24/7.
Yeah. See how this is called Yukta Vairagya, Prabhu. Such a nice point you made. Everything is used in Krishna service. This Teams, Zoom, all these things are also used in Krishna service. Our phones and everything we are using for Krishna service. Of course, we use for other things also, but Krishna is there everywhere. So the fact that Prabhupada is kept preaching as the foundational activity for this entire movement is the real bonus or bonanza for us, if I have to say. Because if the preaching thing is not there, we would not be sitting and discussing, isn't it? Just take, assume that Prabhupada said, okay, install the murti, do puja, anybody comes, offer the marti, do dakshina, then send them out. Suppose if this is what is the standard that Prabhupada had said, nobody would be discussing. Everybody will say, okay, I will go worship the Lord, give him a salute, and then come back and pray to something to him, and you give, that's it. That's enough for me. And slowly, then the atheistic things will start developing, and then the whole murti thing itself will be, they will concoct different ideas of it. But because Prabhupada gave us the medium also, or the support structure also, in the form of his books, his letters, his lectures, all that. Our temples are filled with so many people, so many guest devotees, so many activities. Which temple has so many activities, you tell me? I am perplexed. Any temple I go, any time, there's always some festival or other happening. Some devotee coming, some sannyasis coming, some senior devotees coming, some seminars are happening, some book distribution. 1 month full book distribution, 1 month full Kartik month, 1 month full Bhadra Purnima, like that. Something or other keeps happening all through the year. It's very difficult to catch what of devotees really. To that extent, our things are becoming more and more. There is no depth of hearing. So much Prabhupada has given, Guru Maharajas have given. On top of it, so many people are speaking and sharing nice things from everywhere. How much is there? The knowledge is getting disseminated. And our only thing is getting that knowledge and absorbing it, understand, absorb, then practice it, implement it in our day-to-day lives. And subject matter is available everywhere. The knowledge of subject is available in beyond limits. Such a nice point, Suresh. Thank you so much. Anyone else? Last before we wind up.
My further question is, Prabhu, that knowledge available 24/7, but no one want to become Narada. No one is becoming Narada even after reading.
That bound to happen, Prabhu. But then we should try to follow in the footsteps of Narada Muni, not really become Narada Muni. But having said that, eventually it will happen. Prabhupada, whatever he has given us, nobody in the past nor in the future will be able to do. So absolutely sure, I can be sure of. I don't know about anything else in this world, but this part, sure. Na bhuto na bhavishyati, by Guru Maharaj just. There's no acharya born like in the past. No one will be born in the future also. World will know. Already world is getting to know now. When he was there, not so many were aware. Of course, quite a bit of people, they say, okay, some Swami has come, is creating this evolution, etc. But not everybody was. But now, you see, every temple is overflowing with devotees wherever you go. The more bigger you build, the more the crowd is. I know how they are. That's all Krishna, that Prabhupada's transcendental achievement. Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhu, one question.
Yes.
It's not a question like, see, we hear, we do sadhana and everything, but at the end of the day, if I realize, I say, yeah, things are going fine like that, and really, not really still serious. So how to take it? We hearing all this and then doing sadhana also, still the seriousness, the commitment, determination still not coming.
No, that is why, Prabhu, the thing is, we have to associate with pure devotees the maximum amount of time. Like Narada Muni's case, no. Narada Muni's case, the two things, as I said.
Yes, Suresh Prabhu also said that clearly, nobody wants to, nice to hear about Narada Muni, but nobody wants to be like Narada Muni.
No, that's what. The reason is we are not hearing in the right attitude. Our attitude has to be refined further. It's only 50% okay. You have to have 100% perfection in it. The thing is, when we are hearing them, it should be with a no fruity mentality. Innocence means no fruity mentality. For us, the subtle thought is always that, oh, Narada Muni, just by hearing he become Narada Muni, so let me also try. There is a, that's why I'm saying, like, there is, it's not like a pure thing to say, I should also become Narada Muni. Because there is automatically, there is a fruity mentality involved in there. Instead, we can say, I want to serve Narada Muni. I want to serve those who are serving Narada Muni. I want to be servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. That thought is not coming to us yet because somehow or other, I don't know, because of the Kali Yuga's spreading its wings very much, very, very broadly and very rapidly it is spreading its wings. Popularity is becoming more important than unity. That is where the big challenge. We want to become popular, but we don't want to become pure.
Yes.
We don't want. We want to become famous.
Always
we
looking
want,
for recognition.
Yes, recognition. We don't want to become pure. Always, that's why we are looking for shortcuts everywhere. Piyush Prabhu also says very nice.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, Piyush Prabhu also says a nice point that just by associating with the Bhakti Vedantas, Narad Muni got the power to move about all over the planets, all over the world, the universe. Same way, by associating Prabhupada, so many of his disciples and followers, they are also traveling everywhere to spread Krishna's holy names and glories everywhere. Without, there are no material restrictions. You know, when everybody else is confined by the corona, our people are traveling still. They are going everywhere. They got some fever, but they continued on. And then they carried on. Amagila Prabhu was telling that, during the corona period, he was saying that we broke every damn rule that they had put when we had to serve. They say, you have to put mask, you have to put gloves, this, that, etc. But they were going and distributing 3 crore prasadam plates every month or whatever they were doing. And many times they couldn't wear the mask. So because of which they got the disease, they were sick for a few days. It got all right. Again, they got up and just started doing their service. So I mean to say, it's not that they were neglecting or whatever, but they were more involved in this service that said if Krishna decides, let him take care like that. So that's what, it's very important that we are so intense in our seva without any fruitive recognition, mentality and all that. Then Krishna will shower his mercy upon us. So the thing is, we should not be worried too much that, oh, I am not getting this taste, I am not getting the taste, etc. In fact, our Guru Maharaj, Mahavishnu Maharaj used to give a beautiful example that you should see this, our bhakti journey, like a traveling in the aeroplane. In the beginning, when the plane is about to take off, I mean, just grind the runway, it will look like it is moving very fast, right? When the buildings, trees, everything moves so fast, you will experience the movement, the speed of the movement. But once it goes up and then goes into its, the cruise control mode, like 700 kilometers or 900 kilometers, whatever the speed at which is going, you will feel that you are still, isn't it? You are not moving fast. You are just still, isn't it? And then only when you go down into the thing landing, then you experience the speed again. So many times in our devotional service also, in the beginning, because we are trying to know more like that, it will look like, hey, there's a lot of things, some conscious thing will be there coming. But once we go a little bit into this thing, we will become still in our, it will look like it is still, but it's actually going very fast. We just have to keep doing our thing without, that's when the Sanatha Nivritti and Bhajanagri, all those things happen. Then we will realize and we will eventually reach the destination. Hope that helps. This example of the plane.
Yes. In fact, thank you very much, Prabhu.
That plain example is really good, Prabhu.
Yeah.
It's very nice, actually. That is what we have to keep doing our sadhana every day, little more sincerity, That is how we
Yeah.
have to
Mhm.
develop.
Wonderful.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
So we'll stop
Very
here. Krishna willing, we'll continue again, I think Friday with Prabhupada's Leela. Thank you so much. Jai Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Gurudev Jai Srila Tagore from Monday. Panchakalpatra Vishwasya Patitanam Pampabhyo Vaishnava. Thank you so much, Prabhu Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Have a great